I'm sure you and I and everybody watching this video is familiar with that scene in Top Gun where they steal a Grumman F-14 Tomcat. Well, if we dive back into history, about 53 years to be exact, we find another plane designed by Grumman, the manufacturer of that infamous F-14 Tomcat. It's possibly the most underrated GA aircraft ever made. It's the bug smasher built from a fighter jet pedigree. It's the Grumman Tiger. And today I'll give you all an in-depth tour of Whiskey Papa Mike and tell you all about this 1975 AA5B Grumman Tiger. And I've got to say, thanks for sticking with us. We had a short hiatus, but that gave me the opportunity to finish my commercial license, including the 7 exams that we have to do here in Australia to get a commercial license. And I did my instructor rating as well. So now I can turn people into pilots, which is pretty rad. So Grumman America are famous for building these incredibly impressive machines. There's a torpedo bomber, the Grumman Avenger. There's an all-weather attack aircraft, the Grumman Intruder. There's the Apollo lunar module, and also this one. Moving on. Amongst this impressive lineup, with its first flight in 1970, the same year as the F-14 Tomcat, is the Grumman AA5. With the first iteration of these 4-seater AA5s, Grumman managed a very impressive 127 knot cruise speed out of a mere 150 horsepower, and that was with fixed gear. And thanks to the incredible engineering talent at Grumman, by the time the AA5 Tiger was released, they managed 139 knots cruise out of a little 0360 with 180 horsepower. In fact, this aircraft was so well engineered with 180 horse, it could even outrun the 200 horsepower retractables of the day, like the Piper Arrow. The cowling on these Tigers is pretty nice. It's actually hinged in the middle, which means you can open it from the side, like so. Nice and gentle. And it's just like opening an old Model A Ford. Underneath is the beating heart of the Tiger, the Lycoming 0360, mated to a 2-blade fixed pitch prop. And this one's got a freshly rebuilt engine straight out of the US. Now this Tiger's got the non-standard Lopresti cowl. You can tell it's a Lopresti because of these round inlets. They do give you a few knots extra speed, but they are renowned for cooling issues. So when they're installed, you've got to make sure they're baffled perfectly. So instead of a cruise prop, the owner opted to put a climb prop on this Tiger. These blades have a smaller angle of attack, which means she climbs like a homesick angel. Now, part of the benefit that Grumman had of having jet designers on this aircraft is they knew how to make these little GA bug smashers go really fast. So Grumman designed this aircraft with a comparatively short wingspan for a GA aircraft. It's 31 feet 6 inches. They also opted to use bonded aluminium instead of rivets, so the top of the wing surface is very clean. So with its short wingspan, honeycomb fuselage and bonded aluminium wing, it's a pretty high-tech GA aircraft. So this bonded aluminium wing takes 100 litres in each tank, which gives it a pretty good range, impressive for the time. So the fuel tanks in the wings give it a capacity of 200 litres all up, and with a burn of about 40 litres an hour at 75% power, you're looking at just shy of 5 hours endurance. So the Grumman Tiger has fixed landing gear, which means that you do away with the weight and complexity of retractables, and these nice wheel pants that are aerodynamic help keep the weight down as well and help it eke out that impressive top speed. The Grumman Tigers also have a fully castering nose wheel, which means it takes a bit of practice to steer this thing. You've got to use taps on the brakes to get the gear facing where you want it. The coolest part about these aircraft, they're pretty roomy inside, but they've got this slide back canopy, which in summer you can taxi with it open, which is really nice, and then you can even fly with it open. Only a couple of inches though, and you've got a maximum of 113 knots when you do that. So what's nice about this cockpit is it's pretty roomy and it's very ergonomic. It feels a little bit like sitting in a sports car. The seats are really, really comfortable, and the instruments are really easy to read from this angle. So this aircraft's got some great instrumentation in it. Besides the standard 6-pack, we've got a Dynon EFIS, we've got a Garmin 430, and then we've got a backup GPS as well, and it's got autopilot, so that means that this aircraft is fully IFR. One of my favourite features on the right hand side here is the full engine monitor. So it's got a probe on each cylinder, both EGT and CHT, so you can really keep an eye on what's going on with that engine. And it's really, really good, particularly with that tight Lopresti cowl. You can keep an eye on what's going on with every cylinder, make sure it's not getting too hot. The only slightly strange thing with these Grumman Tigers or the AA5B aircraft is the positioning of the flaps and trim down here between the seats. And there we have it, that's the Grumman Tiger, one of the fastest fixed pitch, fixed gear GA aircraft ever built. Whoa, that's a mouthful. As we've seen, they're amazingly designed and they've got a super strong airframe, so these aircraft are going to be around for decades to come. Now, if you're very quick, this aircraft is actually for sale. Check out planesales.com.au and search for Grumman Tiger. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe and hit the notification bell because we've got more awesome GA content coming out really soon.